7 o'clock Wednesday morning. I've just climbed up via a taxi on a rough road. See the truck travelling on in the distance there. I come up from Pokhara, which is way down the valley there. And now I'm walking up to the World Peace Pagoda. Still got a fair bit climbing to do. Already been up about 200 steps and still got to go up the top there. This is the entry to the World Peace Pagoda, and we're up very, very high. You can see in the distance, those white things in the distance are actually mountains. One in the centre looks a little bit like Mount Everest. I don't think it is. And then if we look down hundreds of metres, maybe thousands, that's Pokhara in the distance with the lake Phewa. Quite a clear day today. So now we're going to walk up the stairs here up to the Peace Pagoda. Very high here. Not really enjoying this. Some monks have just been up to the pagoda. And this is the reason I've scared myself shitless to come up here, this very high point, to visit this pagoda called the Peace Pagoda. It's still only about 7:30. So there's Pokhara township down there. I'm staying by the lake, which is just down in the distance. We swing around. We see those mountains in the background. They're true mountains, not the little hills we got in Australia. We swing around, and there's the Peace Pagoda with the Buddha sitting up in the centre of it, and gold covered peak. It was 15 minutes to get up here by taxi. Now I've got to take a 45-minute walk down to the lake. Nice place to have a cafe. This is the start of the walk back down the hill, back to the lake. And that's where we're heading, down there to catch a boat across the lake. A view of the Sherpa from the path, and then looking down here is the path back to the lake. But I just took a sign that said led down to the lake. Just walked for 20 minutes down the slope, and I've come to a sudden stop because this is the end of the path. There's no path from here onwards, but I do get a nice view of the lake. And now I've got to go back up the hill and take the other path. Correction, there is a path. Just over the top of this ledge there's a path, and hopefully it'll lay down that bottom there and then get a boat across to the town. There are just so many beautiful views in this area. Another view of the lake. She's a rickety old path on the way down, that's for sure. But I'm the only one on here. I haven't passed anyone. No one's passed me. In fact, I haven't even met an Aussie in Nepal yet. See a reflection of the mountains in the lake. Snow-capped mountains in the background. A view of Pokhara in the distance. I'm about 3/4 of the way down the mountain. The pagoda is actually at 1100 metres above sea level. After about 30 minutes of walking, finally came to some civilization, little cafe here at the about 3/4 of the way down from the cafe, looking over the lake. Pokhara in the distance, and up towards the left is the Himalayas. It's about 9 o'clock now, so I've been going for about an hour from the stupa, now coming into where the boats row you across to the other side. So for 400 rupees we're heading back. I got Jimi Hendrix as my boatman.
1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, 4 yen. And drummers.
This island in the middle of the lake has a Hindu temple on it. Now we're just heading across to the mainland, which is just around there. This is what I've come to Pokhara for, and why most people come to Pokhara. It's this beautiful lake in the middle of the city. This is about 3-4 minutes walk from where I'm staying, Sacred Inn. There's fishing in the lake and boating. And there's a boardwalk going around the outside of the lake. Restaurants, cafes and coffee shops. Met some people on the bus yesterday. They're under a little cafe called the Metro and they serve crepes. They're having crepes. And on Thursday morning I was splashing out on a buffet breakfast here and still in Pokhara. And you can just see the lake in the distance. Part of my breakfast. Roti, dal, and omelette, cup of coffee, some juice, cereal. Nice place. Cost me a bit less than $5 for them. It's 8:30 in the morning, just finished from breakfast. And now I've got a taxi for about 5 k's out of town to Davies Falls. See here the police in the background, they're doing a check on licences. See what the sort of streets are like. Dry and dusty at the moment. This notice explains why it's called Davies Falls, because a Swiss citizen drowned here while taking a bath. The body was recovered and they named the falls after her. Like most things in Nepal, you have to pay to get in, at least it's cheap. It's 30 Nepali rupees, which is about 40 cents. This is Davies Falls, winding its way through some limestone. Imagine it being a little bit more exciting with a bit of rain. Fairly dry season, so not much water in there. Bit of a disappointment. So the stream winds down through this limestone formations and then goes right down through here. Just had some Indian boys want to have a photo taken with me because I'm an Australian. Not too many Australians here. These guys here.
Why do not tell us? So that we can have a pose.
These are the boys want to have a photo taken with me because it's another beautiful day today. As you can see, no cloud in the sky. At the moment it's probably around 25 degrees, but it's 9:30 in the morning. Across the road from Davies Falls is the entrance to one of the largest caves in Southeast Asia. Buddha was actually born in Nepal. Very expensive for Nepalese. For us, about $1.20 to go in this. But when you go to places like Morocco or even parts of Australia, natural wonders, they don't charge. About to enter the cave. It's thought to be about 5,000 years old, this cave. Now inside the cave, walking through the entrance, which is very wet. The cave was actually formed by dripping water through the limestone. And we have to head down here and then into the main part of the cave. This is entry into the cave. Got to go through this long tunnel to reach the main cave. It's wet and slippery in here. Just walked about 50 metres through after the tunnel. We came through this big opening here, quite tall here, now down a couple of steep ladders. Getting down at the bottom of the cave. So we're in the bottom of the cave. There's the light coming in the end there. None of this would pass Australian workplace health or safety. There's very little railing. It's very slippery. I'm just heading back out again now. I was expecting a shrine or something down the bottom here. There's nothing much of it. All there is this waterfall that you can see at the end of the cave. I was expecting something a bit more spectacular. And this is the International Mountaineers Museum, often called the Sherpa's Museum. As with everything in Nepal, it's always an extra charge for the foreigners. Dedicated to mountaineers who lost their lives. The museum is very interesting, shows the life and the culture of the hill tribe people in Nepal. There's an exhibition of the dress of some of the hill tribe people. A photo of Mount Everest. Everest was named after Sir George Everest, who was a surveyor in India from 1830 to 1843. Another photo of Mount Everest, which is called Sugamatha by the Nepalese, and a height of 8,848 metres. I did my tracker. This list here shows the first ascents over 8,000 metres. The second one you'll see is the ascent of Mount Everest in 1953, and the New Zealander Edmund Hillary was the first one to ascend Mount Everest. This is a detailed story of the ascent of Mount Everest. Edmund Hillary was actually part of a UK team, quite a large team. And on the morning of 29th of May he started up at about 6:30 a.m. and finally reached the summit about 9 a.m. with Tenzin Norgay. Two of the expedition members were heading up an opposite slope, but Hillary beat them to the top. This part of the exhibition gives some of the details and photos from the ascent of Everest. There's Sir George Everest, the mountain was named after. Tenzin Norgay, who was the first Nepalese or Sherpa to ascend Mount Everest. John Hunt was the leader of the expedition, and Sir Edmund Hillary. And down here, Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzin Norgay after their ascent. There it is there, 29th of May 1953, which is the year after I was born. Some interesting information about Tenzin Norgay. He was one of 13 children. He spoke 7 languages, but he was unable to write any of them. This is a photo of the first female to ascend Mount Everest. Back in Pokhara, this area is called Lakeside, and this is the main tourist road. Actually, it extends about 2 kilometres, it's just a small section of it. So we're now at the corner of the lake, and it looks like the paragliders that are floating above this mountain here. We just see them. They float around off here. That's the takeoff zone, and then they fly across here and land on the beach down there. See a few of them coming in to land. Down lakeside, see all the paragliders flying above the hills here. And then the bullocks grazing on fields in front of me, swinging around to the buses, the park in front of me. It's the main boat harbour for the lake. Takes people across to the Hindu temple, which is on the little island there. It's a beautiful day today. It's about 26 degrees, but there's a nice breeze coming off the lake, so it's not too hot. There's an island in the middle of the lake. People go across there for picnics, and you can get a boat across there, see a boat on the way back from. So it's about 1 PM. I'm just chilling out now on the balcony outside the room, my hotel. Having been to Davies Falls, and then to the cave, and then to the museum this morning. Not sure what I'm doing this afternoon, probably just hang around the hotel. I've done most of the things there are to do in Pokhara. Tomorrow morning I'm off to Kathmandu. It's 6:30 in the morning, Friday morning, and just about to leave my hotel in Pokhara for going back to Kathmandu. See in the distance some of the snow-capped peaks. This is the view from the rooftop of my hotel. We're looking around. The lake is in the distance, and up there is the Peace Pagoda. Just see it in the distance. I climbed up there and look at some of the rainforest surrounding this area. Quite a peaceful little town. Had a nice day for 3 days here. So it's about 7 o'clock in the morning. We're at the bus station ready for my trip to Kathmandu. As you can see, there's a lot of buses here heading to Kathmandu today, and I'm off on the Bubba bus, which is the same bus that I got here. It got me safe, so I'll take another chance on it. The Bubba bus is a blue one, just third from the right there. About 45 minutes outside, following this river from the valley here, so not scary at all, and probably be going up into the hills soon. After 90 minutes of driving, we stopped at this little area for a toilet stop and breakfast. 20-minute stop. Bus is just over there. There's our bus, the blue one there. They're all blue, I know. The one on the right. Just travelling through one of the market towns on the way to Kathmandu. About 2.5 hours out of Pokhara. Through the town of Now 11:10, we're just having our lunchtime stop. Lunch is included in the ticket, and the ticket was only about $13–14 for a 7-hour trip from Pokhara to Kathmandu, and we've been following this river for most of the way. Quite deep valleys, much deeper in most of the areas when we get up higher. It's a warm day today, it's probably around 28 degrees, but there is a breeze, and the bus is air conditioned. This is the buffet lunch, which is included in the ticket. There's the rice, which they call butt in Nepal, and we've got dal, rotis, papadums, and the curry. Here's my dinner by the river. Or lunch by the river anyway. There's the track we've been coming along. toilet stop is the public toilet, so nothing flash as you can see. And a little food store, part of the valley, near the bottom of the valley here. Up way down there. Travelling for around 30 minutes. Parts of the road fallen away, so we've got alternate routes we had to follow. And this is the hotel I'm staying at. It's not a very flash hotel, but the reception is really helpful and all the work is really helpful and friendly, so it makes up for a fairly average hotel.